My name is Peggy Mwanza, as you introduced me, and I'm looking at training and supporting teachers to provide quality education, and my focus is on Zambia. In my presentation, I'll focus on issues concerning teacher training in the Global South, in Africa, in particular in Zambia. I'll draw on my experiences as a teacher and as a teacher trainer in Zambia. Looking at issues to do with teacher training, thanks to Samantha, who has drawn our attention to some of these issues, which I'll look at in my presentation. I'll look at the problems and challenges for teacher training in Zambia. I'll also give some possible recommendations for improvement of teacher training. Most of the Global South is located in South and Central America, Africa, and Asia. These are developing countries or least developed countries. Since the introduction of the free education policy in 2002 in Zambia, there has been a rapid increase in enrollment figures. Enrollment figures indicate that in 1990, the enrollment figure was 80%, and this year, 2012, it is indicating that the enrollment figure is 100%. As a result, classrooms are overcrowded, just as we had seen on some of those slides, giving an example of a teacher teaching about 314 in Malawi. In Zambia, we find in urban areas, the children in class in the range of 70 to 100 children. This is very true in urban areas. And this has negatively affected the quality of education. Therefore, teachers need training and support. Teacher training in Zambia. Of course, the government is the main provider of education. Training is provided at the University of Zambia and colleges. There are also some private colleges and teacher and a private university which are offering teacher training programs. For the university, it offers a 4-year degree. It offers 4-year degree programs, and students are prepared to teach in high schools. Colleges, we have colleges for primary teacher trainees, and for secondary teacher training colleges. Secondary teacher training colleges offer 3-year diploma programs. For primary training colleges, they offer 2-year certificate programs. But recently, the primary teacher training colleges have been upgraded, and they've started offering a 3-year diploma program. Of course, there are challenges in training. The curriculum is not always well aligned with the needs of the classroom. Training is often theoretical in these teacher training colleges. And we find that the training and learning materials are not sufficient in these colleges. Insufficient textbooks, teaching aids, and other training materials. All these hinder effective training of teachers. Just right up there, the colleges, you find that there is inadequate classroom space due to insufficient infrastructure. Even at the colleges, you find that there are students who are training to be teachers. There are also crowded, let's say, a class of 500 students in that classroom or lecture room. The other problem is to do with delays in teacher deployment. When teachers are qualified now, when they're supposed to teach, there are often delays in the deployment of newly qualified teachers by the government. This has affected the number of teachers and the delivery of quality education in schools. Because teachers have to walk the streets for too long, sometimes 2 to 3 years, and they lose the teaching methods that they had learned in their training. Now look at the challenges, just to help us have an overview, the challenges that teachers face while they are teaching right up in the field. There are these challenges that are outlined: inadequate teaching and learning materials. From my own experiences as a teacher trainer, I found that the book-pupil ratio was 1 to 7. In some cases, it was common to find more than 7 pupils sharing one textbook. Of course, inadequate teaching resources, restricted teaching methods. The large class sizes that we mentioned, these encourage teacher-centered methodologies. You find that the teacher will focus on the lecture method, or what we say, the chalk and chalk methods. Little time for students, actually no opportunity for students to ask questions. Students will just answer the closed-ended questions asked by the teacher. And this really affects the quality of education. Then the other challenge is to do with the low demand for education. This is very true in rural areas due to the following factors: poverty, HIV and AIDS, and other issues, lower education levels of most parents in rural areas, parents' inability to help their children's learning, problems for teacher training, shortage of teachers that's one of the problems. To date in Zambia, there are many newly qualified teachers in urban areas who are unemployed, and there are many empty posts in rural areas. This is again due to delays in teacher deployment. Low teacher morale. Low teacher motivation affects the quality of teachers. Teachers cite low salaries, lack of poor accommodation, poor school infrastructure, inadequate textbooks and other teaching and learning materials. As a result, absenteeism, late coming, and leaving early continue to be problems among teachers. Teachers in rural areas in Zambia tend to teach less than their counterparts in urban areas because of several factors. Any trip away from the rural area, for instance, to collect a paycheck or to visit a doctor, mostly it involves long journeys and involves missed school days. Also, when the teachers have to walk long distances to get to school, they tend to start late and finish early. Possible solutions to these problems that I've outlined. Stakeholders should work with government to provide resources available. Student-centered learning approach through improved teacher training courses should be provided to teachers. Governments, donors, NGOs, and all stakeholders should work collaboratively to make teaching attractive in all regions